Hello, hello. Looks like I'm back again with my second video that I'm going to put up. This will be a video of all the major, purchases I made within the past couple of months. And I wanted to start off with Chun-Li here. This is Chun-Li sculpted by Abe3D and painted by Les Bon Art. It's a good friend of mine. She came out fantastic, and he made it even better with his paint job because he added some things to it to give it a little bit of flair. So this is Chun-Li. Been watching too much Office Space, I guess I said flair. But this is Chun-Li. The board was originally white, but he gave it a blue paint job with some wave designs on the side to go with it. And she's like, oh, well, I didn't attach that because I'll tell you why later. But she's absolutely gorgeous. He did a fantastic job with her. And he even added some details. I had an idea that I wanted to do something with her, but he already beat me to the punch. He was already on top of it. I wanted to give her a fresh out of the water look, which is why she has a coat. It's like she's wet, just fresh got out of the water. So, yeah, this came out fantastically. The detail is awesome. In the water, well, you know what? Let's do it this way. She's modular. I have her modular for a reason. It's because she has a not safe for work variant that I wanted to do someday. And I didn't, this was kind of a lot for the painter to do. So I figured to say, you know what? I'll put it off for like another year so that way he doesn't have to slog through the same figure twice. I can imagine, because I used to draw, I haven't drawn in a long time, but I know what it's like when someone wants you to duplicate something that they spend hours and hours, that you spend hours and hours doing, because it'll never be the exact same. And then the inevitable comparison comes about. If they see yours, they think yours was done better than the one that you did for them. And that could become an issue. So I can totally understand why it is hard to try to match a paint job that you've already done for some, you know what I mean, that you've already done before. It's a little bit difficult. But as you can see, she came out wonderfully. And like I say, modular. I didn't attach the surfboard, it gives the clear water. I went through hell and high water, bad pun, to get this water printed properly because I was trying to decide how I wanted to do it. If I wanted to do it with blue water, and I did do it in blue, except you couldn't see the inside. So the painter decided, hey, send me a clear water and I can paint it for you. And that's exactly what he did, and it worked out perfectly. So I don't need any other water. But I think when the time comes again for me to do the not safe for work version, I'm going to do another clear print of water for him to paint. All right, so let me see. Did I attach this? I might have, or he might have her. But either way, even if he did, it's not a big deal. I got to put that back on there. But there's a turtle inside of here. I don't remember if did I glue this in? I don't even remember. I don't really remember. But she's fantastic. You see her feet under the water. There's a turtle inside of there. And if you look at the sand, if you could see the sand, let me see. You could see the stripes on the sand represent I think it's refraction of how the seabed would look with the sunlight, going through the water. So he reproduced that very well. I love how he did that. And as I say, she looks fantastic. She looks absolutely fantastic. There's pictures did not do her justice. But she is awesome. And dare I say, she is one of my top 5 paint jobs that I've had done by him. Or actually top 5 toys, figures, statues I have, period. All right, so let's move on to Garrus. This is Garrus from the Mass Effect series. A very popular series. Xbox. I think it was PlayStation. But I remember I loved all the characters. There's so many characters. I think each game has like, I want to say maybe 12 to 15 characters that you can put in your squad. And Garrus was definitely one of my favorites because of his, sarcastic wit. And he got along with the pilot Joker really well. And each character, the thing about Mass Effect is each character has their own major story arc that once you get them, you can go help them resolve their own problems, before the end of the game. And it came out really well, the game series. Part 3 was Part 3's ending left a bitter taste in a lot of people's mouths, and, mine included, because I kind of it made a lot of things feel like it was for nothing, but it was still a fun game nonetheless. And so anyway, the painter, he replicated the metal look of Garrus's uniform, and then the flat pieces that are in between, like, the black mesh. And the organic, he did the organic piece on his neck. His organics are awesome. He even went back, and there's a blue stripe on Garrus's face. You should be able to see it. There's a blue stripe on Garrus's face. And he didn't see it at first because of, the renders and everything. But he went back and he painted it for me, and he did a great job with it. Fantastic even. Again, this is another one of my favorites because this is one of my favorite characters, period, in video games or any other medium. I have another couple of Mass Effect people I want to do too. If you're familiar with the series, Thane Krios, Jack. If I could find a good Jack model. Miranda is okay. She's a little bland, but she looks nice. She's it's kind of like, it's just another, another pretty statue for the shelf versus a character, that actually means something. But I prefer Jack. And then there was Geth and I think Erdnot Rex, if I remember correctly. But this guy and Rex, you put them on the same team, you got some really good banter. But this is just like, I love this so much. This is one of my favorites. And the thing is, the kit was a little weird to do because you see how this hip shield here is a complete piece and a point. It ends in a point. Well, the modeler, whenever they did this STL or figure model, they didn't account for this part in the knee. So he had 2 full shields. I think maybe it was crafted, but the modeler put the wrong right hip shield into the kit. And you could not put it on there. But luckily, the painter decided, he figured out a way to get that on there. I don't mind that. That looks good because they're supposed to match on both sides. But I like how he did that. It almost looks like, it went behind it. And I can deal with that. I like that. And the shield, I did the shield in yellow resin. Well, actually, it's clear resin. I have a kit of resin colors or dyes that I can put into the resin and turn the clear into any color. So I really don't need to purchase any more resin colors. So if I want green, I can get clear, mix in a couple of drops of green. I can even get the shade of green I want. It's not just green. It's like there's like 10 different versions of each color. I don't know the scale. I don't know color theory, but it really comes in handy. And I like how this came out. And it even came out so well that you won't be able to see, you may not be able to see it on here, but like the dots here are darker, kind of darker than the dots on the outside side. Kind of gives a in motion effect if you see it up close. I wish I could show it to you a little bit better, but that's his back. But then Garrus came out really good. And the last thing I needed to do, he has a piece. It's a clear piece I have to reprint or prints over it that goes over his. It's a targeting sensor, and I have to reprint it and put it over his eye, and the figure will be 100% complete. But how he is here, awesome. I also have a spiral from Marvel Spiral that I'll be sending out to the painter sooner or later. He has another kit of mine right now. Niliel du Odenschwank from the Bleach series. He's doing her right now, and he's going to do Spiral for me when he's finished with that. And there's certain things, because of how those kits are designed, not safe to ship. So I'll be traveling to pick them up, or who knows, maybe dropping them down here. But we'll see what happens in the near future. Okay, so I'm going to move the camera a little bit for this one, because this is, well, you know what? No, I forgot I can just, I can put it back just a little bit. If I can, I have to get my other camera attachment so I can get better scope like I had last time. I don't know what I did with it. We went to Anime Expo this year, and after we got back, I don't know what I did with it. I had the perfect height and everything, but now I can't find it, so I'm gonna have to, I'll go scour eBay for another one. I'll get like another one. I didn't spend too much on it, so it all worked out. It was barely 20 bucks. So I'm not like broken up over losing it. It's just that I wish that I did lose it, because it was actually pretty good. It was actually a good attachment. So now, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to snap this back and forth in between the two lengths. You won't be able to see the whole thing at one time, but it's better than nothing. All right, so this is one that I was really looking forward to. I saw this on cgtrader.com a long time ago, and I do apologize for moving the camera many times. I saw this on CG Trader a long time ago, and I was like, that is the perfect Cammy. She looks so lifelike. It was amazing. I had to get her, and I was just waiting for a matter of time. I was waiting for it to go on sale and everything. I don't mind paying full price, especially for good work like that. But I had so many other STLs that I could get to in the meantime that I waited for a sale, and she finally went on sale. But she's worth full price. But just with all the ones I had to do, I figured, just wait. But yes, she finally went on sale, so I went ahead and picked her up. And this is my definite Cammy for my collection, period. The first Cammy that was done for me, I printed it up and sent it to the painter, is still one of my favorites. But this one is the Cammy. This is the one that I have for if I don't get another Cammy in my collection, I'll be just fine with that. But of course, I'm always on the lookout for even better models, because they can all be displayed together. But this is, I love how she looks like an actual person, if you understand what I'm saying. The work on this was phenomenal. I did the alternate Cammy colors rather than have her green. When I saw the renders for this, I realized that the pink color worked for her so well, because it's one of her alternate colors in the game. I want to say it's player 2, or it's another variation of that. But this is the one I want, because I've seen a million green Cammys. I have opportunities to get green Cammy. I have Street Fighter Alpha 3 Cammy that's wearing her blue Bison doll outfit that I can do as well. But this one called to me, so I went ahead and picked her up. And as you can see, she is absolutely beautiful. She looks like a real person. She's proportioned like an actual person. I mean, he knocked. This is yet another one. This guy does not miss when it comes to stuff. It's like he can kind of read your mind. If you have the same type of thought process, and you can understand. Once you start working with him for so long, you kind of understand what he needs to do to get this done. And I'm going to go close on her face. I'm going to move the camera a little bit. But I love how her face came out. I mean, absolutely beautiful. And you see the grass and the cracks in the base and everything. That was a bonus right there. I love that. And so now she's my definite Cammy. And also, one thing I told him, the green camis, when it comes to the leg stripes, they always seem to be so sharp and just like, it's like, I won't say professionally done, if that makes any sense, but how the render showed the pink stripes, it looked more like someone just like, it was like brushing them on. And I wanted them to look like that, not so sharp, but but it actually looks like somebody just, it was brushing them on like in the field. And once again, this guy knocked it out of the park. I absolutely love how they were done. Another challenge was these sculptors have these statues that they like to put, models they'd like to put on one foot. That is a pain in the butt. If you do not have someone assembling this thing that doesn't know that knows what they're doing, if they don't know what they're doing, this thing can eventually bend and warp with heat and everything if you're not careful. So he put an L bracket through the bottom here, went up through the boot. It goes up about here, and it's perfect. She's at the perfect standing angle. I slathered that sucker in super glue gel, stuck it on there, and she hasn't moved an inch, and I don't think she's gonna move an inch for a very, very long time. And I apologize if I keep moving it, but yeah, this one, she's just unbelievably well done, surpassed my expectations. Well worth the money I paid for this. Well worth the money. But I'm gonna stop harping on her now. As much as I love this figure, I'm gonna move on to another one. All right, so this is actually did a Bishojo StarScream. I don't normally really care for gender swap characters in general, period. I don't really care for all that. That's just not my thing. But this StarScream came out, was like really well. It was even better than I expected. And she is fully posable and transformable. I just have her up on the what do you call the thing? Up on the stand, so she can, strike a pose, like with her leg up, like she's like mid-flight or whatever, and she's laughing. And she has changeable face plates where you can change it to the more usually darker StarScream color. All of these all this comes off. This whole backpack actually comes off, and she can even stand without it. She can stand with the backpack, absolutely no problem. But this was awesome. So I kind of had to get it. I made an exception for this one. And it wasn't even that much. That's the good thing about third-party stuff. Before they start, feeling themselves, kind of like Fans Toys was. They're actually, for what you get, they're very inexpensive for what you get. Because I remember, I think Masterpieces were Masterpiece Takara stuff, was it like $225 or something or whatever? And now this one was was it $80 maybe? Was it $119? But I know it was not that. No. It was like $82 or something like that. I think from Show Z store, and it has a very, excellent paint job and everything, excellent design. I love it. It is really, really good, really cool. Just a neat design. And so I'm gonna move on. This is 3-0 Mega Man X. I am a huge Mega Man fan. I have been since I played part 1 back when I was a kid, back in the 80s. Part 1 was difficult for me, when you're just starting gaming or whatever. Part 2 was the one that got everybody's attention. It became the instant classic that spawned endless sequels, endless music remixes, endless characters, and the world's just so good. It took over. You know what I mean? Capcom's one of Capcom's biggest IPs. Now, where it remains to be seen whether they're going to do more with Mega Man, because he seems to have fallen by the wayside gaming wise, other than, re-releases or whatnot. But I love the 3-0. And the thing is, I didn't even know this until I saw pictures online a couple weeks ago after I got him. He has magnets in his feet. So I actually put him on my refrigerator. Like, in the game, he can cling the walls using his feet. He slides down and he can shoot from the wall or whatever, and you can replicate that. And I thought that was pretty neat. But he has interchangeable hands. This changes out. You can change them to hands. Very, very posable. Changeable face plates. There's a few things I would have done a little bit different than this. Like the leg bend is weird though in some areas, because it doesn't bend straight back. It kind of bends back at an angle. And these shoulder pieces pop off really easily if you're not careful. Also, the head is a bit of a pain to change the face out. It can be done. You just have to be very careful because you don't want to scratch anything. But still a very good toy, and I enjoyed it immensely. So I'm going to put it to the side. And I think I'm going to wrap up with... Yeah, I think I'll wrap up with these two guys. This is Baki Hanma and his father Yujiro Hanma. These are from the Baki series, where he is the main character. And Yujiro, the ogre, is his dad. It's an outrageous fighting series. Very memorable characters. It's like, I swear they make up special moves and stuff on the fly. But it's I love these guys because, like I say, Baki's one of my favorite series ever. Me and my late friend Andre, we used to quote Baki and talk about Baki all the time. It was just an amazing series. Even the new series is good. So these guys have a special meaning for me, because my friend that passed away, he was really big into Baki too, like I was. So, but I love how they have this is fabric, and you can take it off. They're fully posable. They have multiple heads. I don't have his hands on right now because I put his, the stumps in his pocket. I don't know if his hands will fit in there, but I took them off anyway. But it's Storm Collectibles. You can't go wrong with Storm Collectibles, because they're just going, they're going crazy now. They're just releasing so much stuff. They showed more of the Baki line. I believe the Doppo and the 1/12th Yujiro is about to drop. So I got that notice in my email that pre-order is about to drop. Then again, it's that season, the end of the year, last quarter, and especially with New York Comic Con, pre-orders are dropping. It's just a whole lot of stuff to do right now. It used to be, it was like either feast or famine when it came to these toys. Like DS Icons, in his video, D. Sean, he mentioned how masterpieces used to come like once every 1 or 2 years. And now with all the third-party offerings that they have, there's multiple masterpieces coming like every month. So I can't get everything I want. I mean, I could, but like, hey, I want to retire someday. I gotta say, I got investments and savings and everything. Let's just say, if I were rich, I would have a freaking house devoted to this. A house alone devoted to all the figures that they have come out. But I kind of like how I am now. Before, I used to be a bit of a completionist for Transformers, and that was pocket draining. I realized I ended up selling them or giving them away. It was just wasting money. But for these guys, for Baki, I'm getting every one of them. I don't care. I'll whatever. I'll figure it out. I will get Baki. I absolutely cannot wait for Doppo to drop. Doppo is one of the best characters ever. And they even have a Biscuit Oliver and Jack Hanma lined up. I was like, if they even do Pickle, I would get Pickle. Pickle would be huge. Probably be like this tall. But I've said enough about these guys. I can go on about Baki all day long. But yeah, these are really good. You can. He has a pair of white shorts that you can put on this as well to emulate his usual fighting attire, the white shorts, or he has the red shorts, and interchangeable everything. You can take everything off of these guys and switch them out different parts, but these are really well done. And I thought I said I was going to wrap it up, but I completely forgot I had one more piece that I wanted to show. And this is a knockoff of Mezco Batman. They call him Bi-Man, B-I-E Man, whatever it is. But I have a couple of friends that are really, really into Batman. And they made me realize that I have almost no Batman. As much as I like Batman, I have no Batman anything in my collection. So I started grabbing a few parts and grabbing a few items, figures, and I even showed one recently where I had a Michael Keaton cape and head replacement that was done by the person that painted my statues. And so I've been kind of on a little bit of a Batman kick myself as of late. I do love Deathstroke, so I think I reserved a LPZZ Deathstroke because I needed a Deathstroke. I didn't have him, but I saw this guy for a knockoff, and I watched the reviews before I purchased. But for a knockoff, they did a really good job with this. He was only like $35, I believe. But he has different heads, different hands. He has the grappling hook feature itself, and he comes with a base, which he's standing on, of course, right now. And he comes with this right here, to keep him stable, especially like when he can stand without it, but when you have him in high places, you don't want to take that chance. So he may fall, and snap something, and you'll be out of, some money, and you'll be mad. But yeah, story for another day. So, but yeah, the wire cape was like a really great feature. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 wires, and I love this one. Again, one of my favorites. One of the ones that if I had to get rid of my entire collection, he would remain. He would definitely remain. And my customs, of course, my statues and my custom toys. Nah, I'm not going to get rid of those. But yeah, he's definitely staying, and he looks really good when I have him up on the cabinet, like he's looking down at my room or something, like he's a guardian. But But anyway, this went on a little longer than I anticipated. And I do hope that you enjoyed getting a glimpse of some of the stuff that I have. This isn't everything that I purchased, but for time's sake, and I just want to keep it down a little bit. When I get my Niliel Totenschwank back and Spiral back, I'll probably do another video because you're going to love them. Niliel, she's an awesome character. Love the design. Spiral, well, you just have to see what... She's got 6 arms. I'm just going to leave it at that. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. And again, apologies for the constant camera movement. I'm still getting a little used to this. So anyway, you all have a fantastic weekend. And take care of yourselves. And enjoy life. I'm out.